Silence challenge, silence challenge. But what does it all mean? Why have celebrities across the country been doing nothing but posting blank images for the last 3 days? I'm Sam Homewood, and welcome to Use Your Voice Live, streaming on Bite the Ballot's YouTube channel from right here, Twitter HQ, where I'm joined by this lot. So make some hashtag noise. That's great noise. I mean, we could calm a little bit. Our Twitter-obsessed silent warriors, with a combined total of nearly 5 million followers, have posted nothing but blank images on social media for the last 3 days. No selfies, no vines, no lols, no OMGs, nada, zilch, zip. They lost their voice in what we called the hashtag silence challenge. Now it's time to reintroduce them to Twitter and reintroduce them to the world. Please welcome Lydia Bright, Matt Johnson, Zoe Hardman, Matt Richardson, Will Best, Adele Roberts, and Jake Quickenden, who is wearing a top. But why have they done this? To make a pretty big point. They've lost their voice for the last few days to understand what it feels like to not be heard in society, to be voiceless. Now, you could say that's what happens when you don't vote, when you don't use your voice in the wider conversation. So over the next few weeks, we're going to show you some things that we hope might make you think twice about whether or not you're going to vote on May the 7th. But before we do that, let's see how these guys got on when they literally went speechless. Lydia, Towie last night, Bobby Norris, Essex, Top Dog Show, falls over.
Do you know what? It was really, really hard not to tweet with Towie, especially moments like that as well, because you just want to tweet loads of like crying emoji faces. You just want to like scream from the rooftop, and it's just really frustrating. I couldn't.
You could scream from a rooftop.
No, but not on Twitter, like on a computer.
Okay.
Metaphorically.
I understand. What did it feel like to lose your voice?
It was really horrible because, yeah, you want to interact with people when people are asking you questions. You know, you want to have a voice on things that are going on in the world, things that are going on in Towie. You know, it's really, really hard going.
Sure.
My voice was taken away from me.
What's the hardest part?
The hardest part was, you know, in those times of despair and your boredom, you know, when you're sitting in the car or you're sitting in a train, you've got nothing to do apart from sit on your social media and refresh it and see who's tweeting you and not be able to write back. That is really hard going.
I think we can all appreciate and understand where you're coming from in terms of boredom and despair.
It's the same thing. In despair.
You've done a lot for this, so you're obviously very passionate about it. Why do you think that is?
Because I think it's really important, you know, that young people, all of us, have a say in what happens in our country. You know, it is a really important thing, and I think the older generation are those that carry on voting, but really us young people are affected the most by politics. But it just sounds boring, but when you get to the nitty-gritty, you know, we're all affected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Matt Johnson.
I rehearsed that, by the way.
Hello.
Oh. Getting some cheers.
Oh, my family.
Very handsome man. Matt, you found it particularly difficult, didn't you, not to talk about some of the bigger showbiz events?
Yes.
Should we have a little look?
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Zayn Malik has left One Direction, and Jeremy Clarkson, man. It's true, isn't it? Yes. He's left Top Gear. He's been sacked from Top Gear. This would be the perfect thing to tweet about. This would be wonderful. I do not like having my voice unheard. Can't wait to tweet about Zayn. I'm devastated. Can't.
Yeah. I'm still devastated.
Do you check all your news facts with your nan first?
I do every single thing. Mainly celebrity gossip.
Sure.
Goes through Olive, but
Yeah.
you know, everything else. I
She
go through
loves it.
Lydia.
So was there a big light bulb moment for you where you thought, do you know what? Having a voice matters.
No, it really did, to be honest. This campaign is fantastic and what we're doing is great, and it does show that having a voice is important, obviously. But mainly for me, because I didn't vote in the last election, and all I've done is whine and moan. Police pensions being halved has been a nightmare, and I've just complained about absolutely everything, about the embarrassment of a hung parliament, etc. But is my fault. I didn't have a say, so I'm part of the embarrassment. So, you know, I implore people to get out there and get out there and vote, because for that main reason solely, have your voice heard is very important. How scary would it be for those politicians if we had the same turnout of 80+% with the recent Scottish the vote that was happening in Scotland recently? I can't remember what it was. The referendum. Yeah. Yeah. How important would it be, and how scary would it be for the politicians if we had that turnout this time around? Because they would have to listen to us.
It would be exciting stuff. Adele, did you feel powerless not being able to talk to people and communicate?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like the world was happening around me and I wasn't part of it. I didn't matter. I was insignificant. And it took my sister a whole 2 days to check I wasn't dead. So that was quite worrying. Yeah, 2 days, 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think going 3 days without speaking on social media compares to voting in an election?
I think it's really similar. It made me realise, like, usually I might not tweet every day and I don't really notice because it's my choice. When it's someone else's choice and they say you can't tweet anymore, you can't socially interact, you really feel a loss of power. And that's what it's like when you don't vote. So you must at least register to vote, and then at least you have a choice on the 7th of May.
Okay, I like that a lot. Let's talk to Will Best now.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah. Oh, stop it.
Will.
You're all right.
It's been a real big week. We've
It's been
heard
a big
that
week.
Iggy Azalea has had fake breasts
Yes.
sort of implanted.
Yeah. That's
John Hamm's in rehab.
Yeah. Poor
And
guy.
Taylor Swift has bought the domain name taylorswift.porn.
Yeah, that's one of my business
Presumably-
ideas gone. Like that. That's
Presumably, these are all things you'd be tweeting about if you could.
I would be, my thumbs, my whole hands would be going over there, over those issues.
Sure,
And,
sure.
yeah,
Issues.
no, but that's the thing. I think for me, you know, just like Adele said, you know, I don't tweet, like, I'm not the most prolific Twitterer, but it's as soon as you then can't do it, it's like, I didn't really have an opinion on Iggy Azalea's breasts, one way or another. Since you got those implants,
That's equality
I do.
in action.
Yeah. I think they're all right. But that's a whole different thing. Follow me on Twitter. I'll tell you later. But yeah, that's the thing. I think, you know, it's about having the choice, and, you know, when you feel excluded from a conversation, that's the time you feel like you've actually got something to say.
That's right. All those words, and also I think the take-home message there was follow Will on Twitter, wasn't it?
Yes, please.
In all
I knew that
seriousness,
wouldn't
Will, lots has happened this week, but have there been things that have happened that you wish you could have spoken about, but felt like you couldn't?
Yeah. What in the last few days?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There's been a few things that there's been things that have kind of happened that have annoyed me that I wouldn't have necessarily thought to tweet about, but now it's like I know I can't. I would have done just boring office stuff. You know, people eating my lunch. That happened this week. Can you believe
Don't eat
it?
Will's lunch.
Yeah. Now no one's going to follow me if that's kind of dross. But yeah, it's definitely.
Okay, Zoe, you recorded a video for us after just 1 day of the silence challenge. That's right, yeah?
Yeah, I was really frustrated. I was pissed off. I was just sitting there and everything was happening in front of me on social media, and I really wanted to comment and I couldn't. So
Let's
I was,
look at that
I was
video.
annoyed.
Let's look at it.
I look glam.
So it's the end of day one on the silent challenge, and I'm finding it really frustrating not being able to comment on anything today. There's been a major air crash. Little Chris has died, really sadly. I'm kind of desperate to get on my social media and comment on stuff.
Okay, Zoe, how did it feel when that happened and when you made that video?
Yeah. How did it feel? I, at that point, was just like, I was trying to tie it in to the campaign, and I was trying to think, at this point, everybody, all the young people are talking about Little Chris. The older people, the older generation didn't know about him. He was an icon in our generation, in the music world. So I was thinking, if we hadn't made loads of noise about it, the older generation wouldn't have been talking about it. It's us as young people. We need to have our voice. We need to have our say to make a change up there for the fuddy-duddy politicians. If you don't vote as a young person, you're basically handing the power over to old, boring people.
Yeah, it's a very good point. If young people don't set an agenda, then people won't talk about it, and old people certainly aren't going to care. They are good for nothing except for filling graves. So, Jake... Said it, we're live. What are you going to do? Jake, you broke your silence. Let's have a look.
I did. Filmed me here this morning. Had a bit of a bad day yesterday, and I ended up tweeting as one of my friends passed away. So I tweeted about that, and it was kind of a strange one because I wasn't supposed to tweet, but the last thing I was going to do is not tweet, as he was a friend, and I wanted to pay my respects and let everybody know that I was thinking about him.
So, Matt, talk to us about that and how it was that you felt like you couldn't, but then obviously you had to.
Yeah, well, I actually went on tour with Little Chris last year, and obviously it was devastating when I heard about the news. So, and I had people tweeting at me saying, "Why aren't you saying anything about Chris passing away?" And I thought, I'm not going to sit here in silence because he was a very close friend. We had such a fun 2 months together when we was on tour. So I wanted to tweet and tell everyone that I was thinking about it, and I was devastated. So I did do it.
Okay, now let's talk to Matt Richardson.
Yeah.
Matthew,
Let's
have
do
you
that.
ever said or thought, politics doesn't affect me, I'm not interested, and quite frankly, I don't give a shizer about politics?
Never. I'm well into politics. I like it. I studied it. Like, I'm up to the hilt in it, mate. Love it. Buried deep.
I think we're all surprised.
Yeah, I know, we are.
What happened to you this week that directly involved politics?
Well, I guess what happened to me this week that directly involved politics and why I made a video less than 4 hours after waking up and not being allowed to eat was I got given a parking ticket. After paying £6 to park for 2 hours, and I was less than 5 minutes late back to my car, and I got given a parking ticket. And I was going to tweet about it.
You said you made a video. Let's watch it.
Right, so I've had my first big issue with this tweeting thing. I've just got a parking ticket from London Borough of they gave me a parking ticket for being less than 5 minutes late back to my car after I'd bought a parking, bought parking. This is absolutely the normally thing that I would go loopy about on Twitter, just because I'm annoyed, like really annoyed. So I am going to, I've got to sit in silence and not talk about it, even though I think this is bureaucracy at its absolute worst and the kind of thing that I'd normally really shout about. So I'm quite frustrated, but I have to sit here in silence and just quietly text my friends to go, I hate I hate you. Yeah! You take that, unspecified West London Council when I was in Chiswick.
Are you over it?
Am I over it? No, like, it's ridiculous because I vote, like, I've always voted since I was 18. The first election I was allowed to vote in, I was 18 for. I registered to vote, I've voted since then. I vote in local elections, and I think it's really important to do it because, like, everything like that is on a different level. Like, you need to vote to, when your bins are getting taken out, like how often it happens, like parking fines, how many parking tickets they're allowed to give, like all that kind of stuff, speeding fines. So I was really annoyed that I kind of been hit by this bureaucratic thing, even though I had my say. Like, I wasn't
Should have got back in
allowed to
time,
moan
Matt.
about
You
it.
should have got back in time.
You know what? No, I should have gone back in time. I'll tell you what I did
story.
do. I drove past the man, wound down my window, and I went, I hope you're happy with your life, and drive off in my Vauxhall Corsa. So,
Nice.
who won that one?
All right, we get it. Politics is dull, it's boring, and it's full of jargon. So we've gone to quite ridiculous lengths to try and make it a little simpler and a little more appealing. For example, we've got Jake naked.
Surprise, surprise.
It was just a top off. There was no junk out.
Oh, no interest.
As much as you tried to pay me for the junk out, I refused.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not only that, Matt, you've been hitting yourself in the face with eggs. Got to ask why.
Yeah, well, I have no idea why, to be honest. I don't know, you just messing with my brain. I've got egg all over me. You can see in the
still look
pictures
handsome.
there. I
Zoe,
still don't get it.
Zoe, you drank tuna brine. If you're not sure what that is,
Yep.
that's the liquid that you get in a can of tuna.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. I was trying to explain the welfare budget. It's the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Okay, right, Lydia, you juggled hot potatoes. I think this is self-explanatory, isn't it? There you are, juggling some potatoes, and they're very hot. All these videos launch in an interactive video series, guys. Oh yeah, we've got a massive budget. It's out next Tuesday, so watch out for those. Fact of the day, Jake Quickenden has never voted.
No. What?
I know, right? Jake, are you going to vote this year?
I've never voted because I haven't had a clue about anything. I don't even know who you can vote for. I don't know any of the policies. I just like Boris Johnson because he's funny, but he's not even involved, is
No,
he?
before we move
Yeah,
on, I'll
he
give you
is,
some information, Jake.
Is he?
Bite the Ballot are launching an app on the 1st of April specifically designed to help people like you decide who to vote for.
There we
so
go.
that's something to keep in mind. Now,
On it.
you might not know who you want to vote for yet, but before you vote, you absolutely have to register or you can't. Registering is really easy, and you're going to do it live right now, aren't you?
I am.
That's right. And we're confident it's so easy and so straightforward, you can register to vote in the next general election before William Best can get downstairs where there's a shop and buy a pint of milk. Before we set off, I just want to give you the scale of things. The shop is 1 floor below where we are right now. That's going to be easy to do. We think that Jake can register quicker than that. Have you got something to register with, Jake?
Yeah, there's a Mac.
Fantastic.
I don't have any change. Have you
Well,
got some?
this is all you need
Can I
to
borrow
buy
some?
some milk. Right, can we have a countdown, please?
I'm gonna run though. I'm gonna try and win this.
Okay.
It's
Go
gonna
for
throw
it.
the whole thing. Can you get? I'm gonna win it. Can you get
Milk
me
wins
your
election.
Yeah, I've only got. What, if he gives me enough money,
65p. We checked in the shop. Are you ready?
Right.
Do you want it? Do you want it?
Yeah, yes,
There you go, 65p.
Right.
Okay. Can we have a
Can you hold
countdown,
on?
please? 3, 2, 1, go! Get out there, Will.
Come on, Jake.
Here we go then. That's happening. Good luck, Jake. You sort of need to do this for this to work. Whilst this is happening, to have the option of voting, you have to register first. And for the first time ever, you can do this online. It literally takes 3 minutes. This is the link. gov.uk/register-to-vote. By the way, the election is the closest it has ever been. We're not talking about two parties. Loads of people could win it, so the youth vote could genuinely make an absolutely huge impact. Anyway, while we find out what's quickest between registering to vote and buying a pint of milk, let's look at what social media has said regarding the hashtag silence challenge. There's been a tornado of responses. We've had everything from people thinking Matt Richardson has gone all Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that happened. People thought they had gone mental.
Understandable.
In a showbiz way after having quite a good career and then a bit of a plateau.
By contrast, people thought Matt Johnson had just gone arty. Jake, have you done it?
Whoa.
He's done it already.
I think so.
That,
You
Jake,
may want to get someone to check this.
how easy was that?
Yeah.
Was,
And I checked my Twitter on here as well while I was waiting.
yeah, that easy, was it?
Yeah, I
So-
think it's done. It says it's been received.
Literally no excuse. It's that easy. Right, we'll get back to people's reactions to your blank pictures. Mostly there was just confusion. But Lydia, what were people saying to you?
Right, so I had a lovely lady called Lolajita_, and she on
Unusual surname.
it is indeed. And on Instagram, she said clearly keeping off the sunbeds to my pictures.
And have you been?
Well, no, but it's obviously because normally my pictures are very orange, but they were
Sure.
very white.
Adele.
Yes. I've been keeping off the sunbed.
Good. They're
Just
not
like to put
healthy.
that out there. Thank you.
Right, what have people said to you?
Okay, so I had a lady called That Clark Woman who said, have you got a broken camera or is this art? And that's the first time anybody said I'm arty, so thank you.
But what was the answer? Broken camera or art?
It's a statement.
Oh, nice. That's art, isn't it?
There you go.
Now, Noel Clark isn't here today, but he is one of our Use Your Voice ambassadors. And this is what Crazy Hovarian on Instagram said. 3 white pics. Illuminati. It's not Illuminati. He was just doing the silence challenge. Don't get confused. It's easy. Right. Let's move on, shall we? So far, our ambassadors have gone to ridiculous lengths to get you guys to think about whether or not to register to vote. Will Best is still missing trying to buy milk. They've given up their social media. They've made a series of videos.
Just get Joel Dommett in. No one will know.
They've made a series of stupid videos.
Hey!
You lost by miles,
Yes,
Will.
Will.
You did it ages ago. Right, we're now leading up to one more big thing for everybody to do. They're going to do it, and hopefully so are you. We're officially launching, drum roll please. That's real good. Hashtag VoteNote. What is VoteNote, I hear you say?
What's vote no?
Favourite Will Best. Now, I could tell you, but instead, I'm going to let Jamie from Union J show you instead.
Hi guys, I'm Jamie from Union J, and that was my vote note to show that I'm getting involved with this year's election and that I am registered to vote. So make sure you show me your vote notes and nominate your friends to do exactly the same. I look forward to seeing them. Take care.
Okay. That was good, wasn't it? Did you get that? You hold a note on the word vote, which rhymes, then you nominate your mates. Why are we asking you to do this? Well, we want to hear what you guys give a hoot about. We want to hear your voices. We want you to show our leaders that you actually care and that you have a voice. That's important. Unlike the silence challenge, this was something I actually wanted to do. So, here you go. Vote! That was just one take. I did that all day. Right, guys, Who wants to go first? Let's see it, Matt Johnson.
Okay,
Johnson.
so I'm going to need some people in the audience as well. I might go over here. Do you fancy doing it? No, you don't. You look scared.
He's talking
We've
about a
not
vote note
accessed
video.
it.
He's
Okay.
talking about a
Okay,
video.
okay. You want it? Okay. Rob, cameraman, isn't it? Yeah, with people behind, we can do this
Come on
together.
then. Go on, man.
Okay, it's just vote.
So you just say vote and then you nominate someone else to do it.
All right.
A friend.
Okay. Vote! Everybody, come on, don't leave me hanging on this. Vote! I nominate Matt Edmondson, is it, or Richardson?
Edmondson.
Medic! We've got a man down.
I think you'll find I'm over 5'6". So, right, let's do this.
That was
Right.
amazing, Matt Johnson. I mean, things to consider before you do this.
I hate you so
you
much.
can be really creative. We can
I
go
can be
for
really
the
creative.
longest, the
Well,
most people involved.
Most people. I'll get the
What are you
panel in. Hang on. Let me
Okay,
try and do
let's
this.
see it.
And everyone else you can join in if you like.
If you're doing it at home, try and sneak people in.
Get
Maybe
in
cream on your,
let's
not
get
your
everyone in. Right.
Won't react
Let's
well.
do it. Mine's quite a nasally one because I've got a nasally voice. On the count of 3. Oh no, this is a set on video photo. Hang on.
You will have to understand.
Just the
we use
weirdest
technology
selfie.
if you're
Oh,
gonna
all right,
try this.
guys. All right. Stars that I can't do this. I've got a 6. So, right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Matt Richardson. That was fantastic. Also, great addition of the Party Poppers. They had Party Poppers over there. This is going to be huge. Remember, upload your hashtag VoteNote videos to Twitter, Vine, and other social media and post it with the hashtag VoteNote and a link to register your vote. Then nominate your mates to see if they can outdo you. The more bonkers, the better. I think to end the show, I'm going to try and do the biggest group vote note. So I want everybody, literally everybody, to come and get behind me. Come on. Let's do this together. We're a team. Come on. Come on. Don't be shy. And you. Here we go. Are we ready? Everybody's in. If you're at the front, crouch down. Let's get down.
2 of the 3 mats.
Okay. Here we go. So, on my word, we all hold it together, okay? I'm Sam Homewood. This has been the launch of Use Your Voice. So thank you to Twitter and Bite the Ballot, a campaign to get you using your voice, registering your vote, and to make sure our country's leaders are listening to you. Now, show us you're with us and show us your vote note. 3, 2, 1, vote!